On a sunny day, Alice and her older sister went for a walk in the fields. Alice was bored. She was sitting by the river with her sister. It was a hot day. Alice wanted to play. While her sister was reading a book, Alice looked around. The grass was green and the river flowed slowly. But that wasn't enough for Alice. She was looking for adventure. She wanted to discover something new. Suddenly, her eyes caught a movement. Suddenly, a white rabbit ran by. The rabbit was very fast and caught Alice's attention. She wondered where the rabbit was going. The rabbit was hurrying, as if it was trying to get somewhere. And it had a pocket watch. The rabbit kept muttering, "I'm late, I'm late," while checking its watch. Alice found this strange situation even more interesting. "I'm late, I'm late," it shouted. Alice was curious. She followed the rabbit. As the rabbit disappeared into the grass, Alice decided to follow it. Her heart was pounding with excitement. The rabbit jumped into a hole under a tree. Alice looked at the hole after the rabbit and thought about what to do, but her curiosity couldn't stop her. Alice followed it. Down, down, down she fell. She saw swirling colors and shapes around her as she fell. It felt like this fall would never end. It was like sliding down a magical slide. There were books, lamps, and strange objects flying around her. Alice wondered where this fall would lead. Finally, Alice found a door. The door was very small. Alice wondered what was behind this little door. She bent down to open it, but it was locked. She saw a bottle that said, "Drink me." Alice took a sip. Suddenly, she shrunk and shrunk. Now she was small enough to go through the door. A new adventure was beginning. Alice entered a strange world. This world was very different from anything she knew. The trees and plants moved as if they were alive. She encountered a new surprise with every step. Everything was colorful and strange. Suddenly, Alice found the Cheshire Cat with its huge grin. The cat was sitting among colorful butterflies and its eyes were shining. Alice looked at this strange creature with fascination. "Can you help me?" Alice asked the cat. "I'm lost." The cat looked at Alice and answered with a sly smile. "Of course," it said. "But first you must solve a riddle for me." The cat pointed in a direction with its paw. "Go that way," it said. Then it disappeared. Only its grin remained. Alice giggled. This was so silly, but it was also a lot of fun. Alice started walking in the direction the cat had pointed, full of curiosity. Alice found a table set for a tea party. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare were there. They were having a very silly tea party. "Have some tea," offered the Mad Hatter. "But there's no room," cried Alice. The Mad Hatter just grinned. This tea party was very strange. Alice came to a beautiful garden. The garden was full of colorful flowers and strange plants. A queen was playing croquet. Soldiers and other servants were around the queen. Everyone was doing exactly what the queen said. She had a crown on her head and a grumpy expression on her face. The queen was like a volcano ready to erupt. Her angry demeanor made everyone around her nervous. "You're late!" shouted the queen. She ordered Alice to play croquet. Alice was stunned by the queen's sudden outburst of anger. The queen began to explain the rules of the game to Alice. But the game was very confusing. The mallets were flamingos. Alice was having a hard time understanding this strange game. The flamingos kept moving, making the game even more difficult. Alice tried to follow the rules, but the queen was constantly angry. The queen got angrier with every mistake Alice made. Alice was doing her best to avoid the queen's wrath. "Off with her head!" she shouted with every mistake. Alice was very scared. The queen's threats filled Alice's heart with fear. Alice wanted to get out of this strange and scary game as soon as possible. Alice ran away from the queen. She ran and finally tripped and fell. She fell and fell. Then she woke up. She was by the river with her sister. The sun was warm. Everything was back to normal. "Did you have a nice nap?" her sister asked. Alice smiled. It was a very strange dream. Alice told her sister about her dream. She told her about the White Rabbit, the Cheshire Cat, and the Mad Hatter. Her sister laughed. "What a funny dream," she said. Alice wasn't so sure. It felt so real. Maybe Wonderland was a secret, and only she knew about it. Alice went home that day, her head full of wonders. Even if Wonderland wasn't a real place, she realized she could make it live in her imagination. And she decided that was just as magical. Anytime she wanted, she could visit Wonderland just by closing her eyes and dreaming. Well, little ones, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye and stay safe.